and that ultimately you're feeling informed and really excited to get back officiating. Oops. Okay, so here is a list of what we'll be covering this evening. So I'm going to start off with giving you an event overview format, and then Teresa will take over and she'll go over why we're all here. She'll talk about remote officiating. She'll also talk about our equipment requirements, the assignment process, and she will also go through information about training for you as well. And then we'll finish off with opening up the floor for questions that you might have for us. Okay, move this, you guys can see that okay, hopefully. All right, so event formats for the 2020-21 season. At this point, we've abandoned most of our traditional event format and have landed on four event formats that we can offer to our membership during COVID-19 and within all of those COVID-19 restrictions. So I will be going into further detail on all of these formats, but just so you know, high level for these four right now. So the first one is a SkateOn format where skaters are in person and all officials will be remote. The second one, so we're calling these the SkateOn Video Performance Series. So that is a video submission format with remote officiating. The third one is the Skate Canada event format, and this one is for sectionals and pre-novice and novice qualifiers. And that in Ontario, we'll be running those as hubs, like basically, filming hubs across the province, and officiating will also be remote. The fourth one, Star 1 to 4 event format. So that actually stays the same as you all know it. So the skaters and officials will be on site. Okay, so the SkateOn format. So as it says here, these events are standalone events. They are not part of a qualifying series. They are targeting skaters from Star 5 to Gold, including pre-juve and juvenile athletes. A few points I want to share with you guys so that you really understand this format. So skaters will be on site. So for example, in Stratford, skaters will be there at the arena skating. The event will be filmed by a professional videographer, so that will look and feel like it always has at our competitions. Once the event is over, the videos will be uploaded from the rink to a Skate Ontario cloud storage. That's where they will live before they get used for remote officiating. Officials will not be on site. They will officiate remotely. Therese will talk about this more shortly. However, on site, there will be a tech rep, an ice level referee, a music player, an announcer, and Skate Ontario staff. So those are the limited crew that will be on site with the skaters and the coaches. The referee will be performing all ice referee and panel referee duties, including music interruptions, timing, and referee violations. Results will be produced by the data specialists. Skaters will receive a ranking and a skater detailed report card. Results will be posted online after the event and officiating has been completed. Because of that timeline, skaters will obviously not be able to get medals on site or scores on site, but those will be received afterwards. Okay, so the next one is the SkateOn Video Performance Series. So this is a different format option for the skaters. However, it's the same for you as officials. So your role behind the scenes will look and feel the same as the format I just showed you. But just to make sure that, I want to make sure you have information about the different formats that we're offering to the skaters. This one is a video submission based performance opportunity for skaters from the Star 5 to Gold up to the juvenile categories. Skaters will be given camera positioning requirements and instructions, as well as, we will not be organizing the professional videographer. They'll organize filming on their end. The skaters will receive a detailed report card, but there won't be any ranking. this is not a performance on demand opportunity for the skaters. So it's again a bit different than the other format that we are offering for skaters that I went over before. This format is designed to ensure that skaters can have a performance opportunity if they're living in a really COVID restricted region, such as like a red area or a red region. So we'll actually be releasing a bunch more, we will be releasing more information this week about the video performance series. So you can see that in our news later on this week. Okay, so the Skate Canada format. So we are using this for all of our competitive qualifying events. So this is what we used for, and we'll be using for our sectionals championships. And any competitions that we're hosting where there's pre-novice to senior hosted. I mean, there's an exception for right now, we are offering pre-novice and novice at the SkateOn in Stratford, but that's not a qualifying event. So it's a bit of an exception, but any other time that we're hosting a pre-novice and above category in Ontario this season, we'll be using the Skate Canada format to conduct those competitions. So for this format, we require that we're going to use Skate Canada's remote server. The big difference from our SkateOn formats to this is that the officials officiate on a panel all at once. There are different equipment requirements for this format compared to the SkateOn format. You know, it's important, a nice distinction to understand is that this is the closest format to officials being on site. They will log into CSS remotely, and it will look and feel similar to what they've done in the past. If they're in a judge panel, they'll just be at home instead of on a judge stand on site. All right, and then the final format that we're offering this year is star 1 to 4. So it's traditional. There is no difference from the previous season, besides the fact that everyone will have to follow protocol for COVID-19 on all sites. That would be the only difference, but otherwise officials will be on site with the skaters. So with that, I'm now going to pass it over to Teresa. Oops.
There we go. I was just letting somebody in the room. So for some of you, you've already had somewhat of a busy month, especially if you're involved in sectionals. So you did a bit of training on one type of remote officiating. And now we're moving towards another format of remote officiating for our SkateOn events. Like Kelsey mentioned, for these events, officials will be able to be at home relaxing. So how are we going to do that? For the technical panel, they will meet at a predetermined time on a Zoom call. So this information you will see on a new XNO that will identify not only the Zoom call, but what time you need to call in. You'll access video clips and have an Excel text sheet that you will also access through SharePoint. You'll log into a video feed replay tool, which was designed by Skate Canada. And then you'll call the programs just like you would in the same manner as if you're rinkside. For judges, it's a little different. You'll access the video clips and the Excel judge sheets from a SharePoint. You'll also log into the video feed and replay tool. But the big difference here is you're not going to have to be meeting at a predetermined time like the technical panel. You'll assign your GOEs and your PC marks in the same manner as if you're on site, except you can do it in your own time. You'll be given a time frame that you'll have to complete this by. Right now we're targeting 24 hours. More of this information you'll find out about when you go through the training, and I'll also speak a little bit about that a little bit later on. Equipment requirements. You've heard a lot of things in regards to equipment requirements. And Kelsey, the next slide, please. So we've been able to refine these requirements a little bit. Earlier in the season, we did come out with a little more language that for some people, they did find it a little confusing. Don't worry. Some of us really, it was really confusing. But because we are able to use a modified version of the Skate Canada um, remote scoring, we've kind of been able to ease up on the requirements that you need as an official. So for a PC, we ask that you have a minimum of a Windows 10, a webcam, which would be just if you're on the tech panel, a headset, and a microphone. Again, if you're part of the tech panel, make sure you have speakers on your computer so that you can listen to the program. This is very important for judges, and a high-speed internet connection. If you're a Mac user, have a Mac operating system of a 10.13 or later. Again, technical officials, a webcam, a headset with a microphone, speakers, and a high-speed internet connection. Now, for some of you that when you go and you look at the video replay module, you may say, well, you know what, Teresa, that works on my tablet. And, I didn't think it worked on my tablet. We're not saying that it won't work on your tablet. Skate Canada, the people who've designed the video replay module, they haven't done extensive testing on tablets or other equipment requirements such as the ones that I've shown here. So we can't confirm that the video replay module will work on any other type of equipment. So that's why we've laid out this list here. If you do have concerns, though, by all means, reach out to me. Not this week, though, please, because this week is pretty busy, but next week. Um, and we can do some testing with your laptop or your desktop to see that if you're a little concerned about whether the video replay module will work with what you have at home. Okay, now we move into assignment process. So for star 1 to 4, like Kelsey already mentioned, there's really nothing different here from previous seasons. For star 1 to 4, a list of identified officials that are available to officiate will be sent to the tech rep from myself. From that list, the tech rep will identify officials that they will invite based on their certifications and training requirements, as well as their availability. The tech rep will send out those invitations directly and arrange any applicable travel and accommodations. Moving on to SkateOn and Video Performance Series, a list of identified officials available to officiate at the specific competition will be sent to the tech rep from myself. From the availability list, the tech rep will identify officials to be invited based on certifications, training requirements, and availability. The tech rep will send their selection of the referee to myself, and the tech rep will also send out the invitations to the officials directly and send their selection of officials to myself to confirm their eligibility to officiate. For all events where an official is also acting as a primary coach for any skaters in any category, they will not be scheduled. And I did mention a little bit here in regards to for training requirements. Um, Stay tuned for further information. We did say that we would not be having any training for any of our events in November and December. Um, Stay tuned, like I said, for further discussion on our part in regards to events from January on. So you have heard me talk a little bit about training in this respect to officials that have been busy for sectionals. So going forward, for our officials who are going to be involved in our series, that video performance series that's next week, as well as Stratford, they've already started to do some of their training. So whether you are a DIO, a VRO, part of the technical panel, or the judging panel, we will arrange training approximately 2 weeks prior to the start of the event. You only need to attend one session for the season. So if you're doing one now and then you're scheduled later on in January, you don't have to attend another session. However, if you want a refresher, feel free to reach out to me and we'll make sure that we provide you with that opportunity. Now back over to Kelsey.
Sorry, I was having some trouble with that part, getting back on. All right. So this slide, we wanted to, you might have the question, with this adjusted event schedule that we have, where do I fit? How many officials are needed? So we worked on some math that we wanted to share with you, and some information. So we do have 11 plus upcoming competitions this season. So we've got 6 SkateOn events. We have 5 SkateOn video performance series on the calendar. We also will have to plan some pre-novice and novice qualifying events. So those are also going to be coming on the schedule. So we have those, and also we have our Star 1 to 4 competition. So we have 6 of those on the calendar at the moment. So for each of these performance opportunities, there's a range from 60 to 350 skaters at each of them. We estimate that we need anywhere from 12 to 35 officials for each performance opportunity. So ultimately, we're looking at anywhere from around 130 to 380 or so officials for the entire season, which is a lot. So there's definitely still lots of really great opportunities for all of you as officials. Last year, we had 205 active competition officials for last season, which was incredible. Ultimately, really what we wanted to demonstrate here is that there's going to be lots of activity this season. It's going to be different activity, but there'll be lots of officials activity, with lots of opportunities for you, which is exciting. So that's why we wanted this opportunity to tell you more about remote officiating, and the training opportunities, and all this good stuff that you need to know to move forward with it. So that brings us to our last slide here. So questions and next steps. I think that, out of the gate, we want to make sure that all of you are hopefully receiving our Skate Ontario events newsletter. And if you're not, this is just somewhere on our website to find it. So this is underneath news. And as you can see here, there's an opportunity for you to sign up for the newsletter, and you get to check off what you'd like. So we want you to sign up for the events one. If not, you can always go to the news part of our website and see any communication that's sent out is there. So you can always check back to see if there's anything important and relevant that you want to look at. Often, the events information is clearly tied closely to officials. So we want to make sure that you're getting that information. We also want, as Teresa said, want you to look out for upcoming training opportunities that we'll have. So stay tuned for that. And availability surveys, definitely that those will be coming your way. And you know where to ask us or reach us if you have any questions about any of those items. Teresa, was there anything else you wanted me to add for next steps?
No, I think you have that covered. We do have a question here. Says, will there be protocols in place for the local LOC regarding accommodations? Officials may not be comfortable sharing a room with another official if COVID is still a factor in the new year.
Yeah, that's a great question for sure. I mean, yes, absolutely. That's part of the conversations with you as officials, but we're basing it right now that, there's like one person per hotel room at this point, but that's something that we've talked about, and we'll make sure to communicate with the LOCs for Star 1 to 4 competitions. Are there any others, Teresa?
How are the judges who have already judged remotely? I'm not sure I understand.
Hello, Teresa.
Yep.
It's Mary Henderson.
Hi, Mary.
Whenever I press enter, it always sends it off. I'm not used to that. I'm making a new paragraph. Anyway, I'd just like to hear maybe from some of the judges who have already judged remotely and how they're feeling their accuracy is with program components when they can't actually see the skater on the ice. Are they feeling comfortable about awarding like a skating skills mark and some of the marks that you really need to I feel like you need to see them for real to be able to be accurate. So I just like, if anybody has any comments, I'd just like to hear it from someone who's already done it.
I don't think anybody's done it, Mary. It's Lorna.
Oh, no, nobody's done it yet?
No.
Oh,
Unless there's somebody on the call that's done the BC event.
oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought maybe,
sectionals is our first one.
okay. Well, then it will be interesting to hear from you after it's done.
Yeah, ask next week.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mary. I know one of the other questions that came in part of the survey was, will all officials be given a chance to officiate this season? We're going to try our best to be able to do that, but as you can see, our list of competitions that we are going to be available for you to officiate at is getting smaller and smaller. So like I said, we will try our best, but we can't guarantee or promise that every official will be given an opportunity to officiate this season. Okay, so here's a question. It says, will we have other technical panelists' cell numbers should there be technical difficulty? Okay, so yes, as part of our training, we will go through that. There will be, when you're on the tech panel, you will be on a Zoom call at the same time with all the other officials. But if you do have any sort of issues or technical difficulties, there will be people that you will be able to contact who will be able to talk you through if you're on the tech panel. If you're on the judging side, again, there will be people that you can reach out to that will be able to assist you, whether it be to access your files on the SharePoint or to use the video replay module. So we're kind of lucky for our remote scoring, we are doing recorded video. So none of the videos or the skaters will be live. So you will not really be officiating in real time. So we kind of have a little bit of leeway that way as well. And if any questions come to mind after the fact, feel free to reach out, send me an email, and we'll be able to address any of your questions or concerns, or even just your feedback on our procedures. Okay, so one other question on here says, I don't see a second monitor on the equipment list, no longer needed. So again, initially we had said a second monitor, or if you know anybody who's involved with the Skate Canada remote scoring, for the Skate Canada remote scoring, then yes, a second monitor is required. But now that we will be using our Skate Ontario method for our remote scoring, a second monitor is not required. It makes it easier, however, it's not required at all.
Yeah, and I think that if you've attended any of our other webinars, we've talked a lot and spent a lot of time thinking about wanting to make sure this was something that officials could do easily, that it wasn't a really big barrier from an equipment standpoint, that we want to keep you engaged and involved, and we want to make this we know it's going to be different, but we want it to still be fun, and we want it to be something that you're excited to do. And I think that making some of the equipment requirements not as anyways, a bit different, makes it a bit easier it's more approachable for I think most of our officials. So yeah, I think that's something important that we've talked about in the past, and want to touch on that again, just so we're really wanting to make sure you guys stay involved and are excited about it this season.
Okay, so Kelsey, just to clarify though, for the pre-novice and novice qualifying events, you will have to have two, right?
Correct. Yeah, because that's when we'll be using the Skate Canada format. So for any time they're using Skate Canada format, you'll have to have two monitors. That's correct. Yep. All right. Any other questions, Teresa?
No, I'm not seeing any in the chat.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, great. It's so nice to have you all on today. We hope that this was helpful and you were informed. And as Teresa said, please feel free to reach out to us if you have any additional questions, and keep an eye out for, more information from us for upcoming training availability surveys and yeah, information about our events that are coming up soon as well. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.